Tough, gritty game tonight. I thought we did a good job rebounding the ball throughout the game. I thought the guy who made the biggest difference in the game tonight, obviously, and he's sitting to my left, is Deshante Riley. He had a double-double, 13 points, 11 rebounds, 5 for 5 from the field, and also 4 block shots with probably 6 or 7 alter shots, where he was able to create some misses for us. I thought we controlled the game in the first half. We got out to an early lead, but just didn't execute on the offensive side of the ball. The second half we came on and played really good defense, but we didn't again execute on offense. But tonight our defense did such a great job of keeping the lead when we had it. We just wanted to protect it going down the stretch. We had a chance to close out the game at about the 5-minute mark. J.R. Sims missed a wide-open three. Jalen Ross came down and missed the front end of a 1-and-1. Glenn Bryant missed the front end of the 1-and-1. And then Deshante Riley missed the front end of the 1-and-1. If we make those free throws, they never have a chance, all right? So, obviously we won, but the message to my team, it's important to move on in March, and we've done that. But you have to close out games. We could have very easily been on the other end of what happened. I give Jalen Ross a lot of credit for not playing many minutes. He came in and handled the ball today. Probably had 1 turnover, but he hit a big 3 for us to take the lead and win the game. I thought he missed. He missed the 3-point shot, and I give J.R. Sims credit. He was on the opposite wing. The ball bounced in the paint, and he made a very hard effort to come up with that offensive rebound, kick it to Jalen to get that 3-point shot. If that doesn't happen and they get that rebound, they go down and make free throws, and the game is probably over. So that effort alone and having the toughness to step up and take that shot after you just missed a 1-and-1 and gave up a 3 on the other end, I give them a lot of credit for a huge shot. But all in all, it's March, and we're moving on. Sometimes it's very difficult to play in a team with absolutely nothing to lose. I give Northern Illinois a lot of credit. They played well against Ball State. They lost their 2 leading scorers and almost won that game. They came in here with those guys and played extremely hard and had a chance to win. So I give Coach Montgomery a lot of credit for coming in here, having his team prepared. But more importantly for us, getting to the postseason, our seniors winning their last game on this home floor. We didn't know we would have this opportunity, so that's a plus for me because I want those guys to have that. And also going down to Cleveland, having the opportunity to play against Miami and continue to move on. So hopefully we'll keep getting better within the next 24 hours, focusing on the game plan, and try to continue to advance.
Now, at the end of the first half, in addition to Deshante, both J.R. and Derek were both perfect from the floor. What did you think of those 3 guys' effort in the first half?
I thought we shot the ball well when we had open looks, but I think Derek didn't do a great job of reading the defense. He went in and tried to throw a lob, and he took a few bad shots. Well, not bad shots, made a few bad passes. And when you're playing against a team like this, they're always in help. They're in the seams, and it's really tough to be a passer inside. You have to take those shots. But it was the defensive end where Derek didn't do a good job of closing out on shooters, and neither did J.R. J.R. is a really good defender, especially a situational defender. And for him to play as poorly as he did on that end, we're lucky to get out of here. But again, the game of Deshante Riley getting offensive rebound, putbacks, making shots, altering shots, blocking shots, he was the difference maker today. And moving forward, he'll continue to be the difference maker if he plays this way. I tell him and Glenn and Jamel, at some point you got to make up in your minds. Our front line is 7 feet, 6'8", 6'8", and you can go get rebounds where nobody else can get them. You can wall up on guys and use your length to make sure every shot is tough inside. And I think we did that tonight. We held this team to 44 points, which is pretty good. Anytime you can hold a team under 50 in our conference, no matter who they are. And defense is the most important thing for us, and we'll continue to build on that.
For Deshante, you dominated basically in the paint. Was there anything mismatch-wise that you saw that you took advantage of, or you just have a good night and just were feeling it?
It's just that time of the year. March is, is when to go home. And I wanted to show my team that I was ready to take that next step and lead them if need be, all the way to where we want to be, which is to win the MAC championship and advance the postseason play. So, like I said, it's just that time of the year. You know, me and Coach Murph come from situations where we're always playing in the postseason. And, you know, I just wanted to get that feeling back again.
Coach, seemed like Northern Illinois came out playing a little chippy and physical, maybe trying to get you guys off your game that way. But the team seemed to keep their composure and keep their cool and not retaliate on something. Was that talked about in timeouts?
All year. I mean, Northern Illinois is one of the top 10 teams in the country in fouls committed. That's a stat that they've carried all year. Their lack of offense and lack of talent, they play really physical, really tough. So they, you know, coach tell them, you know, don't give up anything easy, commit fouls if need be. So we talked about that the first game we played them, the second game, and then this game. We knew they were going to foul. You just have to be strong with the basketball, put pressure on the referees to call the fouls. And I think early on the referee did call some fouls, a couple pushes on them. But all in all, I think we did a pretty good job of handling that pressure. We had 9 turnovers, so we want to keep them in the single digits as our goal. But again, we still have a few errant ones that didn't make any sense. But for the most part, we handled them being physical and knew going in, yes, they were a very physical, tough, fouling team.
On the offensive side, it seemed like you could move the ball inside underneath to DeShante. Did you see the same thing? Was that the game plan?
Yeah, well, we saw it on tape, and even more times than not, even if he's not in position to score, he's a really good passer. So we just wanted to get it to him to see if we can get some movement, guys cutting, moving. Maybe he can hit them, and if not, if he was one-on-one, just go ahead and score. If you look at our averages, I mean, we don't throw the ball in the post a lot. So they weren't prepared for him touching the ball, and we knew that going in. So we wanted to make an emphasis on getting the ball inside and also, you know, getting some penetration, breaking down their defense. Maybe we get some drops or some kicks for open shots. I think we did a good job of that in the first half, and probably right at the 16-minute mark to the 8-minute mark. We did a really good job of that as well. And I'm just proud of these guys, to be honest with you, each and every one of them, and especially DeShante. Not only that he had a good game, he played 36 minutes on the floor. Normally, we only can keep him for 22, 23 minutes. It's either foul trouble, it's either he's tired. But to gut it out and play 36 minutes and be effective for 36 minutes is important. Sometimes you can just be on the floor not getting anything done. Every minute he was out there meant something. And I think this is a huge step for him and a huge step for us to get to Cleveland and see what can happen.
Yeah, actually, DeShante, I want to ask you about that. There was one time when it's towards the end of the second half, you were looking like you were kind of tired and laboring, but then you really sprang up and put one back that was really important off the offensive glass. Mm-hmm. Were you feeling like you were tired, but were you like drawing deep for something to get through the last few minutes?
Yeah, I was a little winded, but I knew a timeout was coming, and then, you know, Coach Benny White yells from the bench, like, the whole game to me about keep pushing, you know, find my next win. And I just looked over at him, he was yelling those very things. And, you know, I just kind of set it in my mind that I wasn't going to be tired, you know, I was going to keep playing and do what needed to be done. Because it was a very crucial moment in the game. And I think we needed a bucket at that time as well, so anything I could have did to help our team's situation, I was willing to do.
Coach Murphy, last game you kind of were upset with Glenn Bryant and how he did on defense and though he scored 10 points, didn't contribute on defense. And in this game, very, very clutch block with 2 seconds left. How important was him to come into this game defensive-minded?
It was good. I think he got better. He wasn't great, but he was good. What I was more impressed with Glenn tonight about was he decided he would go get rebounds with 2 hands where nobody else would get them when we really needed them. I thought he improved, you know, closing and bumping, being in the right areas. But again, his rebounding is what made the difference. And when we needed a few buckets, he was there to, you know, kind of relieve, you know, some of that. But, you know, for the most part, Glenn is an energetic guy. He should have more than 8 rebounds against a team like Northern Illinois because of the size matchup. That's just what I believe. And I think he should score a few more points. He settled for jump shots tonight, and a lot of that is because they're in the seams, but sometimes you got to make up your mind, just drive the ball and make something happen. Once he gets in the paint, Glenn Bryant has the ability against anyone in his conference to jump up and shoot over the top. I think he settled for a lot of 16, 17-foot shots tonight. But he'll get better. He'll learn from this situation, and hopefully when we go down here to Cleveland, he'll continue to improve on the defensive side of the ball and continue to stay aggressive on offense.
Now moving forward, Coach, to play Miami, what is your team going to need to do besides DeShante having a killer night?
We have to handle pressure. They do a great job of speeding you up, playing full court pressure, and then they run and jump as soon as you make your first pass across half court, or they'll just fire at you and just try to trap the ball handler. They're a very tough team. They're very physical. They have a few guys who can make plays. They're much better than what their record states. At this time of the year, just like us, it's win or go home. And Coach Cooper, I know him well, just like Coach Montgomery. He'll have his team fired up. We beat them early in the year, so they'll be looking at a little revenge. But we just have to continue to do what we do best, and that's defend and rebound the ball, handle pressure and not turn the ball over, and we'll be fine.
Yeah, I thought last time we played Miami, the press really started to give the team a little bit of trouble. But Jalen Ross was a pretty steady hand tonight at times. You're going to need a big game out of him.
Yeah, it's been a huge game from all our guards. Even the rotational guys are important, not just the guy getting trapped and not just the opposite guard, but our fours and fives have to come meet the ball and make plays. I tell our guys all the time, anytime a team traps you, they believe it's some type of weakness within you. So you take those two guys coming at you, and if you can handle that and get the ball where it needs to be, you really have an advantage and you should go score. So I invite these guys to trap us. I think going into this game with Jalen being confident in where we are now, moving on in the postseason and a little more confident, a little more belief in ourselves, I think we'll be fine. I mean, it's going to be a hard-fought game, but I do feel good about how Jalen played. I feel good about how we feel about ourselves. And again, if DeShante can continue his stellar play, along with getting Derek Thompson to be a little smarter on the offensive side of the ball, take some good shots, and everybody else just jump on board, I think we'll be pretty good. Can you imagine if DeShante Riley had this production early in the season or in the midway through the MAC when Derek probably had 19 and Glenn Bryant having 17? See, it's always been one or two guys, and then other two guys are off. But if we can get 5 guys to play, then I'll play anybody in the MAC. I'm not worried about anybody. So now we got DeShante right and ready. I think we'll jump on board, and we'll see what happens in Cleveland. I'm excited to go down here and see what happens. I really am. I love the postseason, something I've been a part of all the time. And I told these guys it's about winning, and this is the most important time of the year. And if you get a taste of success and know how it feels and get to a chance to experience it, and you'll never want to see anything different. And, I talked to the team just last week, and I was, DeShante is the only reference that I used because he was at Syracuse in his first year when Renze Anuaku got hurt. He came in and started playing a lot of minutes. And I can remember him vividly playing against Robert Sacre from Gonzaga, making sure he didn't score, locking down the paint, then playing against Butler in the Sweet 16, playing a lot of minutes, being productive. So he's had a taste of it. It was a while ago, and he was a backup at that time, but he's been there. He's seen it, and that's what I want him to think about, the fun times that you experience there. And I want these guys here to be able to get a taste of that. I don't know if we're going to win it all, but let's try and see how far we can advance. And then going into the next year, you just continue to build on that. We won 15 games now. Same team that beat us on our home court last year ended our season at 14-18. We were 14-17 tonight, and we beat this team. That was one more game than last year. So that's some improvement. Even though it's just one game, it's an improvement in year 2. And I'm trying to, get these guys to understand as the culture is changing, we want to continue to build. Every little thing counts. Every little step counts when you're building a championship program. I thought we made a big step tonight.
Anything else?
I think that's it.
All right. Thanks, guys.